Thank you, son. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, November 27th. This is the Seattle City Council meeting. I am now calling it to order. The time is 2:02. Let's see. There's no objection. The minutes of September 18th will be adopted.
Excuse me, Madam President. May I call the roll just to be sure?
Oh, you know what? I'm looking down at this. Oh, it's not on here. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. There it is. Please call the roll. You're right. I apologize.
Thank you. Councilmember Nelson.
Present.
Councilmember Peterson.
Present.
Councilmember Sawant. Councilmember Strauss.
Present.
Councilmember Herbold.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis. Councilmember Morales.
Here.
Councilmember Mosqueda. And Council President Juarez.
Here.
6 present.
Sorry about that. I was skipping over the roll because I thought it didn't matter for briefing, but apparently I was wrong. Thank you. All right, so now I will go to approval of the minutes. There's no objection. The minutes of September 18th will be adopted. Not seeing any objection, the minutes are indeed adopted. Today, Councilmember Mosqueda is excused from today's council briefing and executive session. We have no presentations or proclamations. And of course, we'll have individual reports from council members. We'll start with Councilmember Nelson today. Following individual reports, we will move directly to executive session. We have 3 executive sessions scheduled for today, which are expected to collectively take to approximately 1 hour and 5 minutes, 65 minutes. Tomorrow's council meeting, November 28th, has been canceled. The next council meeting will be Tuesday, December 5th. I will be absent. Councilor Nelson will be council president pro tem that day per our conversation and approval calendar. Thank you, Councilmember Nelson. On Wednesday, November 29th, we'll be having a select committee on climate change beginning at 9:30 a.m. Councilor Herbold will be chairing this select committee on climate change, which will meet again on December 7th for a total of 2 meetings. And Councilor Herbold will be speaking more to this, I believe, when it's her turn to speak. We'll also be having an all-day select budget committee hearing on Thursday, November 30th. Thank you again, Councilor Mosqueda, for chairing that meeting, as well as all of your steadfast work on the 2024 budget. As a reminder, we will have a council briefing meeting next Monday, December 4th. Now that we are resuming weekly council briefings, please know that we have some upcoming presentations, including on Monday, December 4th, the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs will be presenting the city's federal legislative agenda. On Monday, December 11th, OIR, Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, will be presenting the city's state legislative agenda. Information about all of these meetings will be available online. Let's see, there are no proclamations to sign today. So before we go for a preview of council actions from every council member, the roll call today will be Councilmember Nelson, Peterson, Sawant, Strauss, Herbold, Lewis, Morales, and then myself. So with that, Councilmember Nelson.
Well, hello, everyone. So I'll just start in with last week committee report. My staff and I attended the King County Behavioral Health Legislative Forum, where we had the opportunity to engage with state lawmakers ahead of the 2024 legislative session. And before the actual program began, there was a sort of an open house that was hosted by Washington Recovery Alliance, King County Recovery Alliance. And that was really interesting to meet people in the recovery community and learn what their priorities are as well. This week, on Thursday, I'll be attending the Urban League Breakfast with special guest Trevor Noah. The annual breakfast will also serve as an opportunity for the Urban League to honor and award local community trailblazers for their service to our community. In alignment with the event's central theme, this year's slate of honorees comprises an impressive list of Black women well known in the Seattle area, including local philanthropic arts activist and consultant Vivian Phillips, who will receive the organization's Legacy Award. Former CEO of Bird Bar Place, Andrea Chopin, I'm sorry that I am mispronouncing that last name, who will receive the President's Award, and community leader and change maker Detective Denise Cookie Boulden, who will receive the Urban League's Community Coalition Award. And then finally, on Friday, I'll be attending the going away party for Marty Hartman from Mary's Place and look forward to congratulating her on all her years of hard work. The Economic Development, Technology, and City Light Committee was scheduled to hold its final regular meeting of the year on Wednesday, December 13th, but that meeting will be canceled. That's all I have in my report. I do have one question about the Budget Committee meeting on the 30th, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, there will be public comment at that meeting.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll take that answer offline. Thank you. That's it for me.
So, Councilor Peterson?
Council President, colleagues, our final meeting of the Transportation and Seattle Public Utilities Committee is scheduled for next Tuesday, December 5 at 9:30 a.m. We will have a packed agenda as we strive to complete several items requested by the two departments, SDOT and SPU, before the end of the calendar year and before the final council meeting on December 12th. So here's a preview of some of those items. At our December 5 committee meeting, we will vote on 2 reappointments to the Move Seattle Levy Oversight Committee. While that levy is expiring at the end of next year, its original authorization ordinance still requires ongoing oversight. In addition to those reappointments, we will hear from leaders of our Move Seattle Levy Oversight Committee who will provide a high-level preview of their forthcoming recommendations on a potential new capital spending package for transportation. Section 9 of the original ordinance 124796, approved in 2015, that implemented that 9-year, $930 million property tax levy, specifies the formal role of that oversight committee. As required by the ordinance, quote, between January 1 and April 30 of 2024, the oversight committee is requested to make a recommendation to the mayor and city council regarding the advisability of proposing to the voters of Seattle another levy to authorize additional property taxes for implementation of transportation improvements. The factors to be considered by the Oversight Committee in making such recommendations will include, but are not limited to, A, the city's success in project implementation, including its ability to manage and control project costs, B, the availability of alternative revenue sources that provide a more direct link between the tax or fee paid and the use of the city's transportation system, and C, the underlying need for funding to support the uses identified in Section 6 of the ordinance, which are safe routes, congestion relief, and repair and maintenance. And it says the mayor and the council will consider any timely recommendations that may be made by the Oversight Committee. So again, that 2015 ordinance gives that role to the Oversight Committee, so they'll be here on December 5 at committee to give us a Transportation Committee to give us a preview. We also hope to vote on Resolution 32119, which will designate South Mount Baker Boulevard between 31st Avenue South and 32nd Avenue South as Cheryl Chow Boulevard. As we know, Cheryl Chow was a former school board director and city council member who spent several decades in various public service roles and as a mentor to countless numbers of young people. I thank you, Councilmember Morales and her team for sponsoring that resolution. Our committee will also consider a few other items from the Seattle Department of Transportation, including railroad agreement updates, final approval for an alley vacation, a bill clarifying indemnification provisions of Title 15 of our Seattle Municipal Code, an easement acceptance from the Washington State Department of Transportation, an agreement with local tribal governments regarding the columns of the West Seattle Bridge, and a potential briefing on the asset management plan for city-owned bridges. Our committee will also consider items from Seattle Public Utilities, including Council Bill 120725, which would authorize SPU to take next steps with its conservation plan for the Cedar River watershed. At our full council meeting next Tuesday, December 5, we'll finally vote on Council Bill 120670 to address culturally modified trees. That Council Bill 120670 was formerly in Legistar as TMP 9902. The legislation is simple. It simply requires the city government to quickly make sure it's not allowing the violation of state law regarding these special sites. So a brief timeline: on July 19, 2023, The Snoqualmie tribe asked the city to save a large cedar tree in the Wedgewood neighborhood nicknamed Luma. On August 9, 2023, an agreement was announced to save that one tree. The incident with that tree exposed ongoing gaps in our current reporting systems regarding culturally modified trees. At the end of August, approximately 3 months ago, I transmitted legislation crafted with the Snoqualmie tribe. It's just a few paragraphs. It's a positive step toward a more sustainable solution to the problem. Then at my committee on September 19, the legislation was informally discussed as a draft. At the same time, we received a presentation on the legislation from our central staff. On October 4, the Urban Forestry Commission endorsed the legislation in a letter to the City Council. On November 12, the Seattle Times published a comprehensive article on the importance of culturally modified trees. Then on November 16, after extensive and appropriate consultation, the Indigenous Advisory Council endorsed 12670 as introduced. I circulated those two letters. Today, November 27, our central staff published a memo that supplements their presentation from September 19. Central staff has asked for any amendments by noon this Wednesday, November 29, and they provided some different options in the memo. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact central staff, contact tribal governments as well. Go through the Office of Intergovernmental Relations to reach Muckleshoot, Snoqualmie, and Suquamish. You may be hearing directly from the tribal governments as well between now and December 5. Let's see, what else do we have here? Colleagues, District 4. I joined several civic-minded neighbors for a community-led cleanup in the Wallingford neighborhood. A few weeks before that, I participated in the community-led cleanup in the Roosevelt neighborhood. I mention this because as chair of the committee that includes Seattle Public Utilities, this is a convenient public service announcement that community groups can use our Adopt a Street program to get the supplies and inspiration they need to beautify their community. The Adopt a Street program does not need to be every week. It can just be once a year where neighbors get together to pick up trash. City provides the supplies, advice, extra trash pickup. Just email adoptastreet@seattle.gov and SPU will get back to you with the support you need. And that is all for my remarks. Councilmember Strauss.
Thank you, Councilmember Peterson. It's very informative.
D5, D4. Don't go anywhere so fast. Oh man, already getting emotional over here. Well, thank you, colleagues. We have rescheduled our land use committee meetings this month from our regularly scheduled to having 2 special meetings. So the November 22nd land use committee meeting was canceled. And we have a meeting this Wednesday, November 29th at 2 p.m. and then again on December 8th at 2 p.m. as the 2 special meetings of the land use committee. There are a couple items that are within the scope of my committee that let me discuss here, which is 1, the transportation resolution regarding industrial maritime. We've had this as part of discussion for many months now, since July. As you might remember, in September, there was some additional feedback that was desired. And so my office has taken the time to reach out to many stakeholders for this additional input. I'll be meeting with stakeholders this week to finalize any changes. We will present 1 bill as a substitute bill for public review as soon as possible and plan to vote on this bill before or on December 12th. If we're able to come together quickly and vote it out next week, wonderful. If not, we're going to do that by December 12th. As well, when we pass the tree protection ordinance and throughout the last number of months, I've discussed a resolution outlining the next set of work to improve the tree protection ordinance. So we've worked to prepare a resolution outlining next steps for the tree protection ordinance. And in Councilmember Peterson's wisdom, he prime sponsored a statement of legislative intent that I co-sponsored, requesting further study of the tree protection ordinance. And I'll quote from there, from this slide: to ensure that the regulations are advancing the city's goals, OPCD and SDCI are requested to develop compliance and effectiveness monitoring processes to provide regular updates to the public and council on such topics as, but not limited to, tree removal, replacement trees, preservations of trees on lots undergoing development, tree-related complaints, and the report requested an attachment 1 to the ordinance, which discussed a report 12 months after the effective date of the ordinance on the use of permit applicants, of payment in lieu fees of the tree replacements, tree payment amounts, total payments collected, as well as SDCI identifying strategies to reduce the financial burden on applicants requesting approval to remove hazardous trees, and several other requests for reporting. So again, now going back to quoting the statement of legislative intent, these reports should be used to inform evaluation of regulations and determine if changes should be made to regulations implementation or enforcement. This effort should also consider strategies for creating outreach materials to developers and the public that illustrate how different types of projects on various zones could be adapted to preserve trees on site. If additional resources are needed to produce such materials, this should be included in the plan as OPCD and SDCI develop a response to this statement of legislative intent. They should engage with Urban Forestry Commission, Green New Deal Oversight Board, and the Office of Sustainability and Environment. SDCI and OPCD should submit the plan to the Land Use Committee by July 1st, 2024. This is in line with the attachment 1 to the ordinance we passed this last year. And so now I'm not quoting from the statement of legislative intent. What I am proposing to do is so as not to undercut or dual stream the next steps for changes or additions to the tree protection ordinance. I will resume this resolution process once those reports have been received, which are all supposed to be received about the same time. And so I do think that that is the prudent move to make at this time, rather than having OPCD and SDCI studying it and us outlining what the changes should be made before we understand what their assessment is. And so I will pause there if there are any questions. And then I will go into land use committee work for the next couple weeks. Great. And so we have 2 meetings ahead of us with, we have 2 bills. We have a master use permit expiration extension, and within the industrial and maritime zone, a medical use size limit change. We also have a contract rezone. We have 16 appointments, 15 to design review board, and 1 to equitable development initiative. We have a review of the permit audit that occurred. As always, we will hear each bill twice in committee before voting. This does mean we will need to suspend 2 rules on our December 8th meeting. We will need to suspend 1 rule, which would allow us to vote on the same day as a public hearing. And then the second bill rule we will need to suspend is to send the bill to full council, because the meeting is after Thursday at noon. And so my request, colleagues, here, giving you ample notice, is that we will suspend the rules to vote on the bill the same day as we have the public hearing, and then send it directly to full council for the following Tuesday after a Friday committee meeting. Just pausing, seeing no concerns at this time. Please let me know if you have concerns. So the next land use committee will be the special meeting this Wednesday, November 29th at 2 p.m. We will be hearing the master use permit expiration extension. This legislation extends the term of master use permits approved for issuance to 6 years. This is related to the pandemic, where things slowed down, as well as many other issues. It also streamlines the process. This will allow projects to be developed under the land use regulations that were in effect at the time that the MUP was vested. The second bill we will take up is regarding industrial and maritime medical use size limits. This legislation will exempt existing medical service uses from size of use limits in the MML zoning, in the MML zone. This week, we are hoping to have the permit audit report. We may push this to December 8th, but we're hoping to have it this week. This is a briefing on the findings and recommendations from the audit I requested from the city auditor on the permit process in our city. As I said, this may go to December 8th. We're hoping to have it this week. This is the second time we are having this item in my committee. We heard a high-level overview on in the October meeting. The panel this week will expand the breadth and depth of the discussion from our last meeting, as well as it's not going to we don't have the time to go into every single issue in complete depth. And so I plan to continue digging into this report in the new year by discussing recommendation by recommendation what is needed to fix our permitting system. The last Land Use Committee of 2023 will be the special meeting on Friday, December 8th at 2 p.m. Again, we'll need to suspend the rules there. We will hear for a second time the master use permit expiration extension, as well as the industrial and maritime medical use size limits. We then have design review board appointments for vote. We have 17 in total, 2 to the Northwest board, 2 to the Northeast board, 5 to the West board, 2 to the Southeast board, 2 to the Southwest board, 3 to the Downtown board, and 1 to the Central Area board. We also have an Equitable Development Initiative appointment, which is a reappointment. And lastly, we have a contract rezone, clerk file 314400, contract rezone at 1620 16th Avenue. This is a contract rezone of a property located at 1620 16th from low rise 3M to neighborhood commercial 3 with a 65 with a property use and development agreement. That will wrap up the Land Use Committee for this year. And so that means that we will cancel the regularly scheduled meeting on December 13th as it happens after the final full city council meeting of the year. With that, council colleagues, that is my final council briefing report of 2023 regarding the Land Use Committee. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, I'm going to pass it over to Councilmember Herbold.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Strauss.
Thank
I will keep it brief. The Public Safety and Human Services Committee will meet tomorrow. We have 2 items on the agenda tomorrow, and they are both scheduled for a vote. The first is the appointment of the person who has been currently serving as interim director of the Community Police Commission. It's interim director Callie Ellis as the permanent moving forward executive director of the CPC. The second item is a property transfer for housing development of the former Dumar Seattle City Light substation in the Highland Park neighborhood. Then on Wednesday, as Council President Juarez noted, the Select Committee on Climate Action will hold its first meeting. This is a new Select Committee created by Council President Juarez earlier this month to allow us to consider legislation related to the implementation of a building emissions performance standard developed by the Office of Sustainability and Environment and proposed by Mayor Harrell. Second meeting and vote on the legislation is anticipated for December 7th. I really appreciate the availability that each of you have made to accommodate this select committee. Since this is a new committee, I want to just very briefly, high level background on the legislation. The bill applies to large existing buildings larger than 20,000 square feet, and it sets compliance with greenhouse gas reductions. I like to think of this as step 2 for these larger buildings. I think we all remember the good work of Councilmember Strauss. Step 1, sponsoring legislation in 2021 to update the commercial energy code for new commercial buildings and multifamily condominiums and apartments. That legislation prohibits the use of fossil fuels or gas for space heating and water heating in newly built hotels and multifamily residences. The implementation for this bill is designed to sync with the Clean Buildings Performance Standard for the state, which was adopted in 2019 and expanded in 2022. The state requirements begin in 2026, 2027, or 2028, depending on building size. We all know that commercial and residential buildings account for a significant portion of emissions, 37% of Seattle's climate pollution. Fossil fuels used for space and water heating are responsible for 98% of the 37%. The policy before us is projected to reduce building emissions by 27% in 2050. The BPS policy has flexible compliance pathways to accommodate buildings of many uses, size, type, ownership, age, and systems, with low-income housing and human services given a longer time to prepare. And the legislation creates predictability for asset management that benefits building owners. We've heard supportive statements from Climate Solutions, the Sierra Club, MLK Labor, the Housing Development Consortium, Shift Zero, 350.org. And we know that there have been some really important updates, important to the advocates from the earlier version of the bill reviewed during SEPA, including penalties for noncompliance and the increased penalties for noncompliance and the allocation of revenue from fines, penalties to the Clean Buildings Opportunity Account, so that those funds can be used to support affordable, equitable decarbonization for highly impacted communities. The meeting agenda for Wednesday's meeting includes a summary of the legislation and a much more detailed director's report, and the presentation from the Office of Sustainability and Environment is also linked to the agenda with additional information, all posted online with our committee agendas. So that's the committee business this week. And then just some pretty short meeting updates. Last week, I had a lot of fun at the Meet the Artist event in Highland Park for the new public artwork for the SDOT intersection improvements at Southwest Holden and Highland Park Way. I also last week got to attend the Alki Community Club meeting, their monthly meeting with a focus on road safety issues. And I'll be meeting with Chief Diaz tomorrow, my regularly scheduled public safety meeting with the chief, and held regular meetings last week with both Fire Chief Scoggins and OPA Director Betts. That's all I've got. If there are no questions, I will pass it on to Councilmember Lewis.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Herbold. Very good timing on the handoff, given that we were just in the Regional Policy Committee meeting. And I'm sure that you just gave an update as part of your remarks, but we did recommend out the new arts proposal for For Culture with the unanimous vote. So really looking forward to that and action from the county in response to our deliberations in Regional Policy Committee. I have fairly brief briefing notes today. We will have our first committee meeting for the Public Assets and Homelessness Committee since mid-September on December 6th at 2 p.m. The items on the packed agenda include the following. We will be renewing our discussion about the personal guarantees legislation that my office introduced before the summer recess in late August. And we'll have more information on that at the committee meeting on December 6th. We will have presentations for the Race and Social Justice Initiative updates from both Seattle Public Libraries and Parks and Recreation, and 5 reappointments to the Seattle Center Advisory Commission. We are also going to be considering some legislation regarding the Central Waterfront, an ordinance establishing new appointment terms for the Central Waterfront Oversight Committee and creating additional positions on the committee. We are going to also be considering an ordinance relating to utility easements in the Magnolia neighborhood to King County for the purpose of operating combined sewer overflow pipeline. So that is going to be something that committee members are going to want to review in advance. We do have some updates for the Clean City Initiative for November 4th to November 10th. Encampment needle count, recovered needles, 272 from 124 different locations, and 52,700 pounds of garbage. So as always, very appreciative to the work of our partners at Clean Cities. Some updates from the Seattle Public Library. The Green Lake branch renovations and seismic retrofit have come a long way since I provided an update on this project earlier this year. The library continues to expect that the reopening of the branch will be in May of 2024. The library has completed excavation of the lower level of the branch and provided new space for a new entry gallery, as well as a new conference room and additional restrooms, as well as an expanded work area for the staff at the Green Lake branch of the public library. The public library has also completed construction of a stronger foundation and new retaining walls for the building. So very much looking forward to the opening of that newly reinvigorated facility at the Green Lake branch of the public library. And with that, Council President, I do not have any additional items, and I will hand it over to Councilmember Morales.
Thank you, Councilmember Lewis. I will be very brief. The next meeting of the Neighborhoods Education, Arts and Rights Committee is going to be Friday, December 8th at 9:30. We have two executive appointments, the appointment of Jennifer Chow to the position of Director of Office of Neighborhoods and Gulgun Kayim as the Director of the Office of Arts and Culture. I'm asking committee members to please confirm their attendance today. Either contact me or Devin Silvernail on my team to ensure that we have quorum so that we can move these appointments. One item from last week, I was really excited to join the Vietnamese Senior Association at the New Holly Gathering Hall for two celebrations last week. The first was their 1-year anniversary of their weekly programming, which they organized a year ago. And the second was their annual Thanksgiving celebration. This is a really special, important space for them. They've been meeting weekly for the last year. And I've joined this group of seniors several times to share their celebrations, to answer questions, to talk about public safety. It's a really special place for them to be able to come and gather, and I'm happy to have been able to help them celebrate as well. Next week, I will be out of the office on December 7th for the board meeting of the Association of Washington Cities. And that is all I've got, colleagues. I will pass it to, who am I passing it to?
I think me.
Councilmember Nelson? Oh, Council
Me.
President,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Councilmember Mosqueda was excused. All right, I will be brief. Unlike D6, see if he's still listening. Councilmember Strauss, giving you a hard time. Let's see. As I mentioned earlier, tomorrow's November 28th council meeting has been canceled. The next council meeting will be Tuesday, December 5th. And again, thank you, Councilmember Nelson, for being Council President Pro Tem and sharing that meeting for me. The Governance, Native Communities, and Tribal Governments Committee is not expected to meet, though that may change, but right now we don't have anything teed up on the calendar. I want to take this time to thank Vice Chair Peterson for your support and work for the committee over the last 2 years. And I want to thank Council Members Mosqueda, Peterson, and Councilor Sawant and Strauss for you working with me in our office in the Indigenous Advisory Committee. Also, your meaningful engagement with our committee work, including the biannual review of council rules, resolutions advancing redevelopment of Memorial Stadium. That was a big deal. We got that through. I want to thank you for that. An ordinance enabling Seattle to host the World Cup Games in 2026. And the creation, of course, of the Indigenous Advisory Council, which is historic and the first time I think any city actually has a sitting council with 9 members, 4 of which are duly elected from their tribal governments, and reflecting the issues and concerns regarding land policy for the city of Seattle. And thank Councilmember Peterson for being the first council member to reach out and do tribal consultation from the legislative branch and to work with the IAC on culturally modified trees. So there's a lot more there. I think my last council meeting to chair will be December 12th. So I'll save all the thank yous for then. So thank you for that. Let's see. Last week on Tuesday, November 21st, the council took its final votes on the 2024 budget. We had a full council chambers. We had full council chambers, and the Bertha Knight Landis room, of course, as you all know, was set up for the overflow. The meeting lasted 5 hours. I would like to thank the many staff who went above and beyond to help ensure the meeting was safe and orderly. As you know, we did not adjourn until 7 o'clock. I want to thank Tanel. I wanted to thank Nick and Jim and Louisa, the whole security team. We appreciate all the work that you do for us in working with the clerks in the president's office on security and staff. I want to thank Chris at the front. Chris, thank you for everything and making sure everything was together for us. Big, huge thank you again to our clerks, Linda Barron. Linda, thank you. I think that may have been your last council meeting. I hope not, but I know you have one coming up soon. To Linda, to Jody, to Amelia, your work preparing us and working since, well, all of you for the last 8 years, your patience, your professionalism, your kindness. I cannot say enough what a pleasure and an honor it has been working with each and every one of you. And of course, a huge thank you to our new clerk, who's been here almost a year, Shireen Dedman, on the ground, in-person leadership, making sure things are running smoothly, working with us on the council rules and other issues and safety. And I know that all of you will work well with the next council team that comes in. And again, I really, really want to thank the clerks. Linda, Jody, Amelia, Shireen. I don't know how we would do our jobs without you. And I don't think the public appreciates how hard you work and also some of the things that you had to put up with these last 8 years being out there. And for that, you have my sincerest thanks. And again, it's been an honor to work with all of you. All right. So on Tuesday, my staff also met with the Unified Care Team regarding impacts of homelessness in D5, and the tiny house village is now up. I drove by it this morning. On Wednesday, my staff represented me, because I could not make it, to the Sound Transit North King sub area meeting, and then I will prepare for my last, I think, Sound Transit meeting coming up the second week in December. I'm not sure. That's what I love about Sarah. She doesn't know either. So this week, as I mentioned, we will not be having a council meeting on next Tuesday. We will be having a select committee on climate change, as Councilmember Herbold outlined, at 9:30 on Wednesday, on the 29th. So stay tuned for that. We'll also, as you heard, having a all-day select budget committee all day on Thursday, November 30th. And Councilmember Nelson, we will loop back with you to find out if public comment is going to be provided at that time. Okay, so that's all I got to say. We're going to go into executive session. So, Madam Clerk, before I actually read the magic words, are we anticipating 1 hour and 5 minutes?
We still are, yes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and read in the legal words, and then we will excuse ourselves for 3 items in executive session. If there's no further business, we will move into our 3 executive sessions. Hearing no further business, we will now move into the executive session section. As presiding officer, I'm announcing that Seattle City Council will now convene into executive session. The purpose of the executive sessions is to discuss pending, potential, or actual litigation. The council's executive session is an opportunity for the council to discuss confidential legal matters with the city attorney's office as authorized by law. A legal monitor from the city attorney's office is always present to ensure the council reserves questions of policy for open session. I expect the executive session to end by, so it's 2:40 now, so I'm guessing, what time would that be? 2:40, 3:40, 3:45? No, Madam Clerk?
Yes, 3:45, sorry.
3:45, 3:45, 65 minutes. If the executive session is to be extended beyond that time, I will announce the extension and the expected duration. At the conclusion of the executive session, this council briefing will be automatically adjourned. The next regularly scheduled council briefing is on December 4th at 2 o'clock. The council is now in executive session.